moved from my house back into the workshop. So we're back at BCM and we've got the canopy because today we are going to fix the side dent.
Well, we've got this impact in here. Now it's made of aluminium, which is a bit more tricky than steel, which means that aluminium has more of a memory, so it's a lot tougher. It's lighter, but it's actually tougher to work with. It's hid in there, so we're going to actually get a porta power inside the canopy, and we're going to roll this edge out so the door fits nicely. Well, first of all, we're just going to try the block of wood and the hammer trick. So we'll see what happens. We're going to put a block of wood onto that, and we're just going to give it a tap and see what movement we get.
We actually want to use the porta power now to push off something, but because I've already built the drawers on the other side, it's hard to find something and I don't really want to push against them. So we're doing a bit of right angle bracket. The floor is secure, so we'll screw this down to the floor and then we'll put the porta power to this right angle bracket, and fingers crossed that we'll be able to get us some movement.
You got a porta power, and inside here you've got a ram. The ram just pushes out like a jack. So you push the jack, a ram pushes it out and lifts the car up. Same principle. So you pump it, it's got hydraulic fluid in there. Hydraulic fluid there forces the ram out. We've got it set up, so hopefully we're going to push this out. Let's see how it goes. Oh, look at that. That is working like a treat. That's what we want, exactly what we want.
Now we're going to fix up the door. So there's a whole bunch of pot rivets that are holding it on. We're going to drill them out, take it off, and then fix up the edges, put it back on.
Pot rivet it back on. Okay, we've taken the door off, we've drilled out all the pop rivets, we've straightened the door, we've straightened the piano hinge along the top. I want to show you this, my new Milwaukee pop rivet gun. Alright, we pop rivet the door back on, and it all shuts again. What we've done, we put a bit of filler, we've strained it out, we've put some stone guard over the area and patch it up, and it doesn't look too bad. I mean, we could replicate the whole canopy, which we might do later on, so we'll see how it goes.
We are going to head back home and we'll finish it there.
Let's go.
We are now back home, back on the canopy, and because the other side's done, we're now working on this side. On this side, we're gonna put a fridge. So I just got an upright fridge. This is from Facebook Marketplace. It was literally like 240 bucks. So I reckon it's pretty cheap and will improve, well, the selling cost. And also I've always wanted an upright fridge. I'm getting one for the 75 series. So I thought on this canopy, we may as well get one as well. Now on here, I also wanted to chuck a pantry. Now I could go buy one, but I thought I wanted to give it a go. Now I did it off camera, but I've actually made a pantry. I think that has come out pretty good, but I'll let you be the judge of that. So in behind here, this is actually in behind the fridge. There's a bunch of room. Hopefully we're gonna have the battery in here. Then along this section, I'm gonna basically pack it out, and this is where we can have all of our switches and kind of battery monitors on this side. Then we'll have the pantry right next to it, and then here there'll be room. You'll see that I've still got to insulate here, put carpet along the top insulate this little bit, and carpet all along here. What my idea here is because I've got this this base here. I'm gonna pack it out, probably with hopefully something maybe a little bit bigger than that. And then my panel can sit flush with this. Now this will be carpeted, and that way it goes just in behind the fridge. That will look super flush once it's all carpeted. These here are USB ones that I got from eBay. They actually have USB and USB-C. So I'll play around with this and I'll check back in. So I made a few holes, made a few cuts. Let's see how this goes. Obviously there's no space in between it yet. Oh my word. Once you get carpet, I mean that's a pretty good gap anyway, but once you get carpet on that and on the floor, that is going to look really good. And you'll see, hopefully you start to get the picture of how it kind of boxes in this section, and then all the switches and the panels go here, and it still will give the fridge enough movement to open. So it's definitely a little bit later. As you can tell, it is now dark, but the good news, we've got the fridge in. It's got a bit of a base here, and I also, off camera because it's a little bit fiddly, but you've seen me do runners on the other side, so I thought I'm not going to show you how to do the runners again, but we've got our pantry in. So this here, as you can see, it's working. Go through, I mean at the moment I've just got my screws and whatnot that I've been using, but I'm actually pretty stoked with how it's come up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to carpet this whole front section and down this side. You'll notice down here there's probably, you know, a couple of inches. This is, you know, you can either stand up a full table in here. I just thought this is good to leave open. More storage is always better. And just to show that the fridge can still open, boom, look at that, we are all good. So what I need to do, as I said, carpet this front and then this side, but I'll do that probably tomorrow. Alrighty, it is the next day. This is our panel that we're gonna have our instruments on. All from eBay. This is literally just a little 3 switch panel. I only need 3 rear light and 2 side lights. That's literally all I need. And then last but not least, I just got a really cheap battery monitor. Let me get that out. As you can see, this is literally just like a voltage meter. Comes with this little wire as well. Alrighty, so as you can see, I've got 1 cut, onto the next ones. 2 holes cut. Now, we need to go onto our little battery monitor. So I got this one cut as well. Little voltmeter goes perfectly in there. It's time to carpet. Now we're gonna add it in, chuck in our little switch panel, just like that. I'll screw that down. These ones as well fit so nicely, just like that. Here we go. That's nice and small, that's too easy. We've got our 3 switches, on, off, and then our dual USBs. And these, I tell ya, look unreal. I am just so stoked with how that looks. Now, you might be looking at it and going, oh, you didn't carpet this. That's because the fridge should cover it. We're actually going to get cracking on the wiring. The 12-volt system for this is actually going to be pretty easy. Dad, luckily, has actually scored out of a car. Basically, it looks like spaghetti, but DC-DC charger. This is actually a Benton one. I think they rebranded to Renogy. Solar input, obviously DC-DC, so from the car as well, input, and then it'll charge up the auxiliary battery. Now, the auxiliary battery that we got will go in behind the fridge. It is a Zeal battery. It's 125 amp hour, which is not too bad. It is only a deep cycle, so it's pretty heavy, but you know, I'd love to go lithium, but it's just, for this budget build, it's not quite worth it. So what I can do now is for my alternator in and my auxiliary out, I can actually add those earth wires right here. So I can simply undo this and then I'll chuck the earths on. So I've connected it. I can see that it's all working. For some reason the light is on wet battery, but I'm pretty sure this is an AGM, so I'm not sure what's happening there. I'll see if I can, there you go. I'm getting a green light, meaning it's okay. Time to add in the fuse blocks and then we can start putting some lights. I just got stuff everywhere, all my connected bits, but let me show you good news. We have the DC-DC in, we've got our outlets, we've got our fuse block, we've got our circuit breaker very close to the battery, and then here we've just been wiring, these are our switches. We've got one in, which is the rear light bar, and then these are the two USBs, they're all connected. So now I've just got to connect the battery monitor. I'm just working out with the battery monitor whether I go directly to the battery or I just go to the fuse block somewhere. I'm not really too sure on what's kind of best practice on that, but we'll work it out. And then I've just got to get the lights. So the lights that we're using, these are actually from Dunn and Watson. These are only the 30 centimeters each, but they're really good quality. And you can change the color of them, you know, get your amber, make sure there's no mozzies. I just wired in the battery monitor. So now if I turn it on, we've got, let me go up close, we've got that mode, which basically gives you like a percentage reading. And then if I click it again, it gives us our voltage. So right now we've got 12.8 volts, the battery is obviously full, and then one more turns it off. It is a new day, and I tell you what, the canopy is looking unreal. We've got the fridge in, and we've got our panel with our switches. This switch here, which, if you can look, boom. We have the light bar, and it is working beautifully. We have light, baby! Now the great thing about these is you can change them and it will actually remember. So if I turn this off and then turn it back on, it'll remember that red. Now that I don't need this, I can push this in. To screw this panel down, I'm actually just going to use black screws. These are 20 mil, black purely so you don't see them, but also just screwing them in from here. So if I'm away, there's some sort of electrical problem or I need to add to this board, 4 screws, and then this panel pops out, and that is the beauty of it. Your dead set can't even see where that screw is. It's literally right in there and you can't even see it. So I've got a little bit of an idea for this side of the canopy. Now this is the side where we've finished the drawers and it's looking really good, but we're gonna have a light on the door. But see this little shelf here? That at night time might be pretty dark. I've got a little solution. This here is a light from Ultimate 9 and normally it's for like a rock light or like a little work light. I'm actually going to put this in the shelf and that way we can have light, and this will go in the same circuit when the door lights. So this side is going to be well lit. There's actually a hole in here, so I'm going to run the wire down. Oh, how good is that? Can you see the light in there? That is so good. I mean, at daytime, obviously, it's not going to make much of a difference, but at nighttime, oh, I can't wait. Well, that's the end of this episode, because all I've got to do is a little bit of carpet, and then I can show you the final result of what has been a budget build. We started out with a $400 canopy. I can't wait to see it at the end. If you've watched this far, please like, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate it. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.